start here. The 2021 matriculants will start their final exams on Wednesday. The Department of Education says it's ready to handle the examinations and to ensure the process runs smoothly. This year's candidates have faced challenges due to the COVID-19 outbreak, with schools taking a break due to the rise of infections. So to discuss the state of readiness, we're joined now by the Gauteng Department of Education spokesperson, Steve Mabona. Steve, always a pleasure speaking to you. Welcome to it. It's all systems go at this point come Wednesday, but just talk to us in terms of just some of the realities that you've had to contend with as the department leading up to now the writing of the final examinations.
Good evening, Faith, and to all our viewers. Yes, indeed, it's all system goes. It's crunch time, actually. On Wednesday, we are starting the process of examination. We have managed to train our monitors, make sure that vigilators as well, they are trained. But you'll understand that this is the biggest cohort, over 175,000 of candidates that we expect. It's the biggest number since we started the process of examination for many years. So we have had to deploy security measures, make sure that we safeguard the integrity of this examination. That's why we have actually introduced now a WhatsApp line where you can send information if there are irregularities that you suspect, and confidentiality is a priority for us. We will not reveal your name, but we'll make sure that at least cap anything that might happen in terms of compromising our exams integrity. But as all system goes, we are ready to start with the process of examination on the 27th of October.
Yeah, I want to stay on the point of security, because last year, Steve, we had so many reports come out of the different papers, examinations papers that were compromised, and subsequently, obviously, putting more pressure on those that have to now write this examination. So just looking at the security checks, it's not only from the students' perspective, but it also starts with officials, doesn't it? Because papers don't just leak. Someone causes the papers to leak, which means that extra mind needs to pay to whoever it is that has been mandated to handle the actual papers themselves. What are we doing to vet these people, to make sure that the officials that are employed, the officials that have been tasked with looking after this examination paper, don't turn out being the same officials that sell the paper for a cheap buck?
Look, without revealing much, security details, you don't expose much. But we have done a lot of work in terms of the technology, in terms of human capital as well. Make sure that we enhance that process on how those that will be handling our papers, how we're going to be managing that. But the principle of the right time, it's invoked to say that, you don't have to print all the papers at a certain time, but you just wait for the right time to do that. So we have, amplified that process to say we need to safeguard and make sure. And also as well, we safeguard these papers as money. The security detail around transportation thereof, from one point to the other, it has been enhanced as well. And there are other security features that we will not be in a position to reveal, but we've done a lot to make sure that we don't actually compromise the integrity of this examination by unnecessary leaks. And we are hopeful that with the introduction as well of that WhatsApp line, in the event of anything, we're in a position to move swiftly to stop anything that will be compromising, so that we don't expose learners or candidates to unnecessary rewriting of a paper, or us having to expect them to rewrite. So we've worked so hard to make sure that we don't allow such things to happen.
So we have to also face the fact that this has been another COVID year, and whether or not we like it, this has had a psychosocial impact on the very same learners that are going to be sitting down for these examinations. So from that perspective, how are learners faring leading up to Wednesday? Because we're saying that it's crunch time, but psychologically, whether we like it or not, these kids have been impacted by COVID. And to mitigate against the potential anxiety that they may be confronted with come examination sit-down time, what support are we putting together as Gauteng Department of Basic Education?
Look, we have a partnership with Childline And we will really call upon parents to make sure that they utilize the facility, make sure that we interact with them. In the event we see that the children are behaving strangely, we need to monitor very closely. That's why we would normally say that during this time, we need to give our candidates space. Let's not send them to town to buy things for us, or let's not give them chores that will then distract them. We need to give them space, allow them an opportunity to, because some of them, they've not been sleeping well. We have enhanced them. And remember that these are the grade 11s that did not finish their syllabus. So we had to adapt their syllabus. But when coming to grade 12, you can't adapt it. You need to make sure that they are given all necessary support and make sure that they are prepared, because their paper was set 2 years ago. So they need to be prepared for that. But we are assured, looking at the assessment that has been going through, all our processes, and looking at the enhancement that we have undertaken, we're quite sure that we've enhanced them with the subject advisors and the tutors that we've been using. They didn't have weekends, they didn't have, after school, they would then come back and then leave very late. Yeah. Some will sleep there. So we did so much to enhance the class of 2021.
And before I let you go, how are we faring when it comes to the admissions for grade 1 as well as grade 8 for the year 2022? I know that it commenced on the 15th of October. It's until the 30th of November. But how are we doing? How many kids have been placed? How many kids need to be placed? And how's the system adopting to just the influx of parents wanting to register their kids?
We need to be, saying that from the parents' perspective, we're not doing well. We have offered over 125,000, placements to parents, but over 45,000 we received acceptance, but over 75,000 of those, they have not been accepted. So parents probably are playing a waiting game to say, maybe I might receive a school that I prefer. But we want to caution them. If you have applied in a high-pressure school, it's highly unlikely that you will receive that offer now. So we just want to plead with them. They need to accept those offers so that they move out of the system in the sense that they would have been placed, so that we can focus on those parents that are still waiting to receive offers. So we just want to call upon parents to assist and work with us on this score, so that we then don't have quite a sizable number of parents that they are still waiting to be placed, because we've already actually given them the placement. So they need to accept so that we move on.
All right, 75,000 kids that are waiting, and parents, of course, are waiting for perhaps even a better offer. Steve?
No, 75,000. We've already offered them those placements. They are waiting there. They're not accepting. They're not accepted. We can see them. We offered them. We issued about 125,000 offers. Out of that, only 45,000 parents or applicants said, yes, we are taking the space. Over 75,000. Those spaces are hanging there. Parents are not accepting those. So that's why we are saying they need to accept, so that we know that out of the 125,000, all of them, they are out. We can then accommodate those that need the space.
Steve Mabona, we'll leave it there for this evening. Thank you so much for your time. Of course, the Gauteng Department of Basic Education spokesperson just giving us insight in terms of what the matter looking like, the lay of the land looking like ahead of the examination senior certificate on Wednesday. And of course, where are we when it comes to the admissions for grade 1 as well as grade 8?